If you're having trouble with mathematics, numbers getting problematic, don't you panic. Check MathWiz, the best math tutor on the planet. From fraction to algebra, simple maths, add up some trigonometry into that. Learning math is fun with MathWiz, and that's a fact. We're rooting for you.
Hi everyone, welcome to another MathWiz Academy lesson. I am so happy to have you back. Alright, so we've been working on our positive and negative numbers. We looked at how to add and subtract. We looked at how to multiply. And for this lesson, we're going to be focusing how do I divide my positive and negative numbers. Now, the rules we want to note, and they're very similar to the multiplication rules, is that a positive divided by a positive is going to give us a positive. A negative divided by a negative will also give us a positive. A positive divided by a negative will give you a negative, and a negative divided by a positive still gives a negative. Okay, so today, before we get into the lesson, there is a foundation skill that I would like to point out. We've discussed this in other videos before, that fractions can be used to represent division. So even though you're having 10 over 2, which I know some of you will think about reducing, or saying, okay, the 2 into the 10, whatever it may be, I want you to visualize that this can really be written or said as 10 divided by 2. Similarly, when we have m squared over m, so it's almost like we replace the fraction bar with the division, right? So similarly, that could be read as m squared divided by m. And this could be read as minus 6 divided by 3, right? So we replace the fraction bar with the division sign. So let us get into the lesson by using an example. So let's just say we had 12 over 4. I'm saying that you don't have to write it out, but mentally what I would say to myself, or how I would read it, is 12 divided by 4. Now, more importantly, I would want to note, what are the signs of the two numbers? Well, clearly, whenever there is no sign, we assume it to be positive. So I have a positive divided by a positive, so I know my answer will be positive. And then the 12 divided by the 4 is what will give me 3. Let's look at the second example. So I have minus 12 over minus 4. That might look a little scary. So we go ahead and we say, okay, mentally what we are imagining is minus 12 divided by minus 4, or negative 12 divided by negative 4. And a negative divided by a negative is a positive, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. What about if we had 12 divided or 12 over minus 4? Well, this is going to be 12 divided by negative 4, right? And remember, we use the word minus and negative interchangeably. So a minus sign in front of a number simply makes it a negative number. All right, so that 12 that's there, right, it's going to be positive. Why? There's no sign in front, so we assume that it is positive. So I have a positive divided by a negative, so I'm going to get a negative, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. We then try another one. So what if we have negative 12 over 4? This becomes negative 12 divided by positive 4. Again, how do I know that 4 is positive? Well, there's no sign in front, so we assume it is positive. So a negative divided by a positive, according to the rules, is negative, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. Right? So you can look at the left-hand side, compare it with the right-hand side. So the left-hand side has the general rule, and the right-hand side has an application of the rule. Okay, so I'm going to go through another set of examples, and then I will give you a few to try on your own. So let's just say we have 10 over 5. We know we are going to imagine that that is 10 divided by 5. We see no sign, so we know those numbers are positive. So we have a positive divided by a positive, so we will get positive. And 10 divided by 5 is going to give us 2. We then have negative 15 over negative 3. So this would be negative 15 divided by negative 3. We have a negative divided by a negative, so we will get a positive. And 15 divided by 3 is going to give us 5. We then have 8 over negative 2, which we will rewrite as 8 divided by negative 2. The 8 has no sign in front, so we assume that it is positive. So we have positive divided by negative, so we get negative. And 8 divided by 2, we get 4. All right, for our last example, we have negative 20 over 10, which is going to be the same thing as negative 20 divided by positive 10. A negative divided by a positive is a negative, and 20 divided by 10 is 2. All right, so I'm going to put a few for you to try on your own. Okay, so go ahead and try these 4 questions, press pause, and then when you're finished, you can press play to see the solution. So for the first one, we have 24 over negative 6, which we can write as 24 divided by negative 6. We have a positive divided by a negative, so we will get a negative. And 24 divided by 6 is going to give us 4. So we have 30 over 5, which is going to give us 30 divided by 5. We have no sign, so we assume they are positive. And a positive divided by a positive is positive, and 30 divided by 5 is 6. For the third question, we had minus 18 over minus 3, which is going to give us negative 18 divided by negative 3, right? And a negative divided by a negative is a positive, and 18 divided by 3 is going to give us 6. And then for the last question, we have minus 18 over 2, so that's going to be negative 18 divided by 2. There's no sign in front of the 2, so we know we consider it a positive. And a negative divided by a positive is negative, and 18 divided by 2 is simply 9. Okay, so I do hope you found this video useful. Of course, if you did, be sure to leave a comment below. Be sure to like, subscribe, turn on your notifications. Be sure that you're sharing with your friends. These videos are for everyone. And I just hope that you know here at Mathers Academy, we continue to root for you. I believe in you, and I will see you in the next video.